Hello, and welcome to Digital Essentials, a course designed to help older adult caregivers and recipients of care navigate and understand the digital world. This course is presented by Senior Planet from AARP as part of a CDC Foundation project. My name is Ilse Duarte, and I'm a technology trainer here at Senior Planet. This session is part of a course that demonstrates how digital tools and platforms can help make everyday tasks easier and can be used to improve physical and mental well-being. I'm excited you decided to take this course, and I hope you will enjoy this particular video on Facebook groups. Before we get to the Facebook groups proper, we will review some privacy settings, and then I will show you how to join a group, how to create a group, and how to communicate with people on Facebook within your groups and with other Facebook members of Facebook friends by using Facebook Messenger. And I will end the session with best practices for group admins. So first of all, when you created your Facebook account, you may have looked at your privacy settings already, but here at Senior Planet, we recommend that you take another look at those settings. There are quite a few of options to select from, and it's important for you to know that you are in control of what you share and who sees your posts. You will also see that you can limit advertisers' ability to follow you from websites you visit to Facebook. Said in another way, so you are using your Facebook account and you go to another website from your Facebook account. You will probably be letting that website track you back to Facebook and target you for ads, and you can limit the advertiser's ability to track you back by checking some privacy settings from your Facebook account. I am going to go over the other items, but right now let's go to a Facebook account that Senior Planet has that we use for demonstrations. So let's go there and then go to the upper right corner where I can see account. I can click there and go to settings and privacy. I can click on settings, and then I'll get a long menu. So if I go to the left, I will see privacy, click there. And here you'll see privacy shortcuts, which is pretty much Facebook explaining to you what privacy settings there are. There are multiple items to go through, but you can start scrolling down and look at your activity. So right there, you see who can see your future posts. Review all posts that you're tagged in. Limit the audience for posts you've shared. Who can see the people, pages, and lists that you follow. So all of these are important settings to select. So how do you change what's there? You have the edit button. You can click there, and here my answer here is friends. If I want to see the other options, I can click on that downward arrow and make a different choice. I'm not going to change anything right now, but you see how the process goes. So I will close here. And we mentioned ads. I want to go back to the menu on the left and scroll down until I see ads. There they are. There is that button. So advertisers, I can see the advertisers that I've seen most recently, and I can choose to hide some ads. And there is a longer list that I can go through. I can decide to keep certain ads. I would definitely keep AARP. Senior Planet is affiliated with AARP, but maybe I don't want to see any more Wayfair ads and I can hide them. So you see that there are a lot of options for you and you should look through them carefully. I'm going to go back to see settings and privacy. So do spend 15-20 minutes looking at your privacy settings and decide how you want to use Facebook and how you want Facebook to use or not to use your information. Now let's get back to our slide. So what are some other things to keep in mind to make sure that our information is kept safe and that it's only used in the ways that we are comfortable that they be used? One suggestion is to link as much or as little to other websites. What links do you want to share with your friends? What links are you clicking on? So decide which ones are worthwhile, and remember that a window out is also a window in. So to limit the ability of advertisers to track you, think about how many websites and which websites you are visiting from your Facebook account. An important action not to take is not to use your Facebook credentials to log into other apps or sites. Let me give you an example. I use the Calm app to help me fall asleep. So I listen to meditation sessions and that helps me fall asleep. As I was creating my account, I was prompted to use my Facebook credentials to create this new account. So I wouldn't even have to bother with a unique user ID and password combination for that app. I decided not to do that. I decided to use a new user ID and password combination for that particular app. Why is it that that's a good thing to do, to keep accounts separate? It's because people hacking into your account is not a common occurrence. But if it does happen, if a hacker were to guess your password for that particular account, they wouldn't be able to get access to multiple accounts because you're using separate user ID, password combinations for different accounts. So keep your Facebook credentials for Facebook only. You know that people send you friend requests. Should you always accept them? Our recommendation is that you accept only requests from people that you know, or doesn't have to be friends already. Maybe it's an acquaintance, but it's a friend of a friend, and you feel that you know that person enough that you are confident they would be a good person to have as a Facebook friend. And finally, message only with people that you know. Again, if a stranger is messaging you, you don't need to respond. Keep that communication with people that you trust only. So now we can get into the Facebook groups proper. And why be part of a Facebook group? Because that is a way to be part of a community on Facebook, people to be connected with because you share similar interests. Maybe if you are a caregiver, you want to connect with other caregivers, or maybe you want to get a break from your caregiving duties, and maybe you want to join a group to go for a walk, or maybe to join a group that likes literature, and you're reading different things and you're discussing what you're reading. So it's Facebook groups do offer you a place to connect with others who share those interests with you. If you decide to join a group, what will your participation be like? You can share your thoughts, you can ask questions, you can read other people's stories, you can learn from their experiences, and they can learn from your experience too. You'll be contributing your experience and expertise sometimes. So as I said, you can join a group, but you may also decide to create a group. Before we start talking about creating a group, though, let's go back to the Facebook account that I'm using as a demonstration account. So you can see how it goes when you want to join a group. So we're going to go back and I'm going to click on the home button and I will see groups on my left. So if I click there, I see that I already see on my feed recent activity and groups that I may have read about. There's more. Now that's a long one. So NASA exploration is a group. Another one is electrical engineering world. So these are suggestions from my own feed, or the next button down from your feed is discover. So they have suggestions for me. Facebook has suggestions for me based on what I've looked up before, posts that I have read before. And there are also categories that I could choose from: humor, science and tech, and so on. But I can go straight to the search button, which is near the upper left corner, and I can click there just to put my cursor there, and you will see that I've been looking at caregivers of elderly parents before. So that topic is suggested to me. I'm going to click, I could type it in, but I'm going to click there. And I want to show you the first two results, just for you to have an idea of what groups are out there and what to look for. So I'm going to click on Caring for Elderly Parents. And right away, I see that it is a private group, which means that only members of this group can see who is in the group and what they post. This is visible to anyone. Anybody can find this group, but that's all. They can locate the group, but they cannot see any posts yet. They would need to join the group to see who's in it and what's being posted. And if I keep scrolling down, there's some information about the activity. You can see how active people are on it, the members, how long ago it was created, and notice that there are group rules from the administrators of this account. So if you join this group, you will be you will agree to follow the group's rules. Let me show you another group. So I'll go back to where I was, to the results, and click on caregivers of elderly parents. And here it's smaller. It is a private group as well, but notice that here there's a description. I find this to be helpful, a description of the group. So I'm going to click on see more, and you can read it on your own. And if I decide I want to join this group, I can just click join group and see what questions they have for us. Oh, I forgot to highlight that also. It says, please answer the questions or your request to join will be declined. All right, so this gives you an idea of what to look for, how to look for it. Before I leave, take a look at this picture, because if you're interested in creating a group, you will be also prompted to use your own picture. Facebook can pick a picture for you, but you should pick a picture for your group that is enticing, that says something about your group to potential members. We're going to go back to our slides and move on to creating a group. So why would you create a new group? Maybe you haven't found among the groups that you looked up, the group that really is right for you. Maybe you want a local connection. Perhaps you want to be able to see eventually or regularly, you may want to see the people who are members of your group. It's a topic of your interest that maybe is not available on Facebook right now. You want to start a group, for example, for people who like to make jewelry together, or maybe you're interested in taking care of older adults with dementia, something more specific and something that you want to create so you can get out of it what you need. Or maybe you want a group just for friends and family. Maybe it's your care team and you want to be able to have a group just for those individuals and communicate based on your needs. You can have your group be public or private. As we saw, you will have that option. And to start your group, you will look for a box that will look like this: create new group or just create. So let's go back to our demo account, and we will go back to the home page and groups to the left and locate that create new group button. So we will click there. And I mentioned wanting to be local, so I could create the San Jose Caregivers Support Group, or it can be more specific. It could be caregivers of older adults with dementia. So it can be as specific as I want it to be. And I can choose it to be private or public. I'm going to choose it to be private. Make it visible so people can find it. And maybe they contact me about joining. And I can invite my friends on Facebook right now, or I can wait until later. So I can click here, create, and there it is. So it's ready to start. And you see, you scroll down and you see various types of information, and also the ability to add. So we didn't add a cover photo. We can do that. We can add a description. Remember what I said about me being more compelled to join the group that I saw a description for, because I'm better informed about what it is. So do consider adding a description, adding a cover photo, creating a post telling people, welcome, this is why I've created this group and this is what I hope to achieve. And perhaps even adding a picture for your first post. And then you have more information. And to the left, you have your admin tools. And here, notice that you have the group rules. When you click Get Started, Facebook will help you with the categories. So you have some categories here, or you can write your own. And I'm going to stop here because all your decisions will depend on your goal for this group and what you want to get out of it, what you want your members to get out of it. Let's go back to our slide and to Facebook Messenger. So now you're part of a group because you joined it, or you have created your own group. How do you communicate with people? You can communicate with your group by posting pictures, an article, questions, and then people will respond to you. But you may want to communicate with people directly. So if your group is 15 people, for example, but you only need to talk to 3 people about a certain topic, you can message them directly. You can use the Messenger app. It is the Facebook Messenger app or texting app. So on your desktop, which is what I'm using now, we will go back there and we will see the Messenger app. But on your smartphone, you will have to download it separately. It is free to download, it is free to use, and you will be using the same credentials as you use for Facebook. And once you have access to your Messenger on your desktop or on your mobile device, what can you do with it? You can message any friends from your group or not, any Facebook friends. You can message other groups. You can message any organization that you follow. And from your Messenger app, you'll be able to do video chat, audio chat, send photos, send videos, send group messages. So as I said, maybe you want to talk to 4 people at a time. So you will be able to do so. It's message from one person to another, or message from you, one person to a group. So as I said, let's go back to the Facebook demo account so I can show you Messenger. So near the upper right corner, you see the Messenger app. And if you click there, you will be able to look up a friend or an organization using the search box, and then send your message. So it can be to one organization, one person, or multiple people. You can message 3, 4, 10 people at a time. So that's Messenger. And going back to our slides, we have some group admin best practices to share with you. First of all, as I mentioned, you need to decide on the goal for your group. If you decide to create a group, you will be the admin of that group. So decide on the group's goal. Consider who can join. Do you want a lot of people to join? Do you want to keep it a small group? So a private group lends itself better for that. Do you want to have criteria for people to join? As I said, if it is a caregiver group, is it a criterion or a requirement that they be caretakers now rather than anticipating that there will be caretakers in the future? Just one example of a factor that may influence your decision on who can join. An important decision is also whether or not to allow anonymous posts. Some people think it's a good idea because depending on the topic, somebody may have something quite sensitive to say, something that is difficult for them to share, and they may feel more comfortable if they're sharing that story anonymously. Other people think that's not a good practice, that in a group, everybody should be able to know who the post is coming from. That really depends on you as the admin. What do you want from your group? What do you think about anonymous posts? As admin, you will set the group rules, as we saw, and you need to enforce them. How are you going to enforce the group rules? If somebody violates some of these rules, maybe it was a less than polite post, or maybe somebody posted an ad when one of the rules was no ads. So how are you going to go about it? Are you going to send a warning? Are you going to delete the post? And so on. As the admin, it's very important for you to be active in your group, because you're telling the group, this is important to me. I pay attention. I am involved with this. Here are some questions for you. Here's a conference about this topic. Here is a story, something that happened to me that I wanted to share with you. Here are my questions for you. And it may be that a lot of people are joining this group and it's becoming a bit too big for you to manage on your own. Consider assigning a co-admin and or a moderator. A moderator will look at the various posts and decide, this is appropriate, yes, it can stay here. This is not appropriate, I will not allow it to be posted, or I will delete it. And that person will help you with those tasks. This is the end of our presentation. And thank you very much for joining me today. Remember that this is part of a series, so there are other sessions for you to watch. You can find them at seniorplanet.org/caregiving. And on that webpage, you will also find handouts, instructional videos, and additional information. Thank you very much for joining me, and goodbye.